I wanted to talk about the rules around reform. But first of all, I wanted you to hear the birds and see the view. That feels kind of important. And that is actually one of the things I think is most important right now, is that everybody takes time to look up, listen to the birds, see the view. You know, as humans, we were never supposed to be online. We were never supposed to be interconnected in this way to all the world's troubles. And actually, if you're just around the things in your local vicinity, the world is a very great place. But anyway, let's get to the point. Reform and its rulebook. So yesterday, Nigel came out and said any criticism of Mohammed Zia Yusuf is racism. Anybody criticising Mohammed Zia Yusuf is racism. Now, despite the fact that the criticisms being levelled at Mohammed aren't about colour or religion or something weird, it's that he reported Rupert Lowe to the police over hurty words. So factually, you know, criticism of Mohammed Zia Yusuf isn't about anything to do with race nor religion. It's to do with behaviour around a much loved MP, or an MP that many people feel speak the truth. That. The second thing is this absolute refusal to acknowledge Rupert and what happened to him. And ultimately, I know people are good. Ultimately, I know British people are great. And I know that they know good from bad, right from wrong. Like, the fundamental way I work, you work, is can you sit with yourself at the end of the day and say, oh, look, you know, I tried to do the right thing there. I didn't do a bad thing. I tried to be a good person. Well, that's where we have a problem, because when someone treats someone in a way that's obviously bad, obviously wrong, obviously not okay, we don't just get over that, because we're not in politics. We're not snakes. We see something wrong, and it is a really British thing to be there to support the person who's been wronged. It's what British people, I'd argue, do best of all. So we don't just move on when something like this happens. Can I just say, I'm about to walk through a whole load of gorse. And obviously, because I'm massively tough and have massive balls, I'm not going to go, ooh, 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 ooh. But genuinely, I'm just going to put my chin out and I'm just going to walk through that gorse. There we are, without doing a girly thing. Good. So now, if you want to support reform, or you want to be on side with Nigel, that's probably a better way of phrasing it, there are a list of rules. Now, I've known these for a few decades. When people have asked me about Nigel, I always go, oh yes, Nigel. But I've always known all of this stuff. But, you know, you have to hold the line and you have to support the thing that's most closely aligned. You have to choose the least bad option. But anyway, so now if you want to be around Nigel, or on a stage with Nigel, or share space with the boss of the company that is Reform, you have to bow down to Mohammed Zia Yusuf, no matter how he treats you. Doesn't matter if he reports you to the police because, you know, you didn't buy him lunch. You know, you have to bow down. Number two, you have to disavow the online right. That lot, that really sneering, dismissive thing that I cannot stand. Richard Tice does that, Nigel does it. You have to dismiss all the decent people that I love as the online right. Oh, just racists, skinhead racists, which is not the truth at all. Most of them are like grandparents and lovely people, and young people as well, who are scared for the direction this country's going in. You sort of talk about immigration, but you can't have any solutions because you can't talk about the options. So you have to sort of talk about immigration to get votes or clicks or views, but then don't really address the fact that you're not willing to go hard on a solution in the way that Trump has, rounding people up, deporting people, getting people to say, I don't deserve to be in America, I should really leave. So that's another rule. And then another rule is you have to be within the GB News framework, because that's a whole other, you know, list of rules in itself. You know, I'm banned from GB News because at no time would I ever comply with the rules that all of those presenters, all of them, have to comply with. That's fine. People need an income. People need a job. No criticism. I'm just saying the list of rules. So you must bow down to Zia. You must criticise the online right as racist. My people, you have to say they're all racist and bad guys. You have to be within the rule framework of GB News, which is another layer of rules right there. And then you have to be willing to disavow Tommy Robinson or me or whatever. I'm irrelevant in this, but so you have to say Tommy Robinson's a bad guy. You're not allowed to speak his name. You're not allowed to mention his name. You're not allowed to say that the fight he's in, the isolation he's enduring is terrible and wrong. You're not allowed to say any of that, you see. All of these rules that have been put in place by Nigel in order to completely control things mean that for most of us, it doesn't bear any resemblance to a party we would want to belong to. And yet we can all acknowledge, if you have to pick an option, it's the least worst option. And of course, people will say to me, Katie, but who do we vote for? And that's exactly it. We don't have Trump. And that is entirely what we need. And you'll also appreciate that if someone else starts up a party, say Ben, Habib and Rupert, and maybe Tommy would join or endorse that as well. The problem is, of course, you're splitting votes. And under the current system, two-party system, it means even if you formed a small party, you won't get a say. So I don't wish to sort of stand and point out problems, because that's the last thing I ever want to do. Also, levity and light and laughter. The only way we make through this is through laughter, which is, you know, what I've been doing and will be doing. And I'm just about to head out on the road for 4 months solid on the road to help gather people and lift people up and make people feel a bit better, because I see what's happening, I see what's coming, and people are really struggling now here in the UK. I mean, it's more desperate than anyone's acknowledging. But I think it's important to articulate that these rules now exist in order for you to be considered worthy by Nigel. You have to stay within the rules. And I guess at the fundamental level, the thing we wanted, the opposite we wanted, is the opposite of what we need. We need someone to stand there and tear it all up and tear it all down and throw the rule book away. And to hell with the consequences of saying this or thinking that. You know, we need that. We need a hand grenade thrown in, not someone tiptoeing in a really duplicitous manner in order to find a path to power, which is, of course, where Reform are now headed. I mean, surrounding yourself with councillors from Conservatives and Lib Dems. So I guess overall, my dog is now rolling in probably fox shit. So, you know, we keep some perspective, which is your life could be worse. You could now have a dog that smells of fox shit. That'll just be me at home with the fairy liquid. Look at the moron. I mean, seriously. I'm going to give a picture of show you the water, because that'll calm your soul. So I suppose overall it's about not losing hope and not losing faith, even though all of those things I'm just saying. Dog, if you don't stop rolling in that fox poop, when I come to bath you in a minute, you'll be evil. Come and get in this water. Get in the water. Stella, you absolute moron. Is good girls is not to lose hope, because good people, decent people are still out there. Good people, decent people know that the way that Rupert was treated was completely wrong. And good people and decent people right now feel, I would say, though I speak for no one but myself, horribly, horribly disappointed. And I think it's okay to feel all those things, to acknowledge all those things, to acknowledge that politicians are snakes, all of them, to acknowledge that you're disappointed, and that be okay for now. You know, when people start diving on going, yes, but who are you going to vote for? Well, we don't have all the answers all the time. We can acknowledge that this is wrong. It's horribly disappointing. Politicians are snakes. But, you know, as with so many things in life, I simply will not be told rules. I will not be told what I can and can't think, what I will and will not say. And I think a great deal of people feel that the same way as well. So I'll see you on the road. Meanwhile, yes, enjoy.